Hi, thanks so much for tuning in to Mom Boss Chronicles. My name is Jen.
This is Sue.
And this is Danielle.
We are three moms that work together in real estate and are good friends, and here to talk to you about fun topics, the good, the bad, the ugly of mom struggles, real estate, and other fun stuff. So make sure to subscribe to listen to more. Welcome back, everyone, to Mom Boss Chronicles. Make sure to like and subscribe to hear more great content. Today, we are going to be talking about toddler life.
Toddler, tiny terrors.
AKA tiny terrors. Yes.
Well, you guys are in the thick of it. I've just passed.
Yeah.
So you guys
You've
started off.
exited.
Yes. And I'm like,
I have a 2-year-old and Danielle does too.
Yeah.
A little girl. And Sue, your son is 5.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think toddlers defined between 12 months to 3 or 5.
Yeah, I think it's like 4 or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, yeah.
So we're definitely in the thick of it right now. And there's some days I just want to cry. Other days I want to laugh. Some days I want to pull out my hair.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's like the most magical time and the most horrifying time.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing their little personalities develop and they're like funny as anything and they say whatever they want, but also like, oh my God, they are terrors.
Mhm.
They really are. And I mean, going from a boy to a girl, she's so much worse.
Oh, that's funny. So I have a 7-year-old boy. And for me, my toddler phase with my son was really rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess it's goes from kid to kid.
Totally.
Right?
Mhm.
Every kid's different.
He had a lot of energy. So what's the hardest part, do you feel like, with June?
She is just so strong-willed
Mm.
and she's very whiny
Mhm.
too.
That sounds like Madeline.
Yeah. And a big thing is she hates the car.
Oh.
Hates it. She'll just like cry and scream in the car.
Oh,
So
no.
yeah, it makes me like not want to go in
Right.
there.
It makes you think twice. Like, is it even worth it to go out? Yeah.
Her new thing now is when I stop at red lights, I explain red light means stop, green light means go. She'll say, go. And I'm like, June, the light's red. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Go.
Oh my God.
And yelling and screaming and kicking. And I'm like,
And then you find yourself fighting with a
yeah.
2-year-old over
Yeah.
something like, but like it's like this like independence and dominance that like
yeah.
they need to like.
the independence.
Yeah.
Like, who's the mom? I remember my mom would tell me that because I would, my daughter would terrorize me. And my mom was like, who's the mom in this situation? Put your foot down. I'm like, oh, you're right. Who is the
Yeah.
mom? I am the mom. Yeah.
It's so true. And like this morning, she's fighting me over her clothes.
Oh, that's hard.
Which is
Yeah.
something my son never did, still doesn't do. I pick out his clothes for him. And I had this cute little outfit, jeans and this polka dot shirt. I put the jeans on. She's screaming,
Oh.
no, it's too small. It's too small. I'm like, what? They're not too
Oh.
small. Like, what are you even talking about?
She just didn't want to wear it.
Yeah. So then I was like, do you want to wear this new shirt that daddy got you? Because he just went on a fishing trip and brought her back a shirt. Yes, I want to wear this shirt. But would not wear the pants. So
Oh.
she picked out these other pants. Girl, she looked like she rolled out of bed. Like she was a hot mess going
Right.
to school today.
Like, whatever. I got her out the door.
Exactly.
And before kids, of course, I would judge people whose kids dress all crazy. I'm like, you let your kid walk out like that? And now I'm like, oh, I get it. Like,
Mhm.
you have to pick your battles with them.
Yeah, so I'm on my second energy drink of the day.
I feel like with Michael, I'm trying to, and I think the beauty is like as the kids get older, you kind of forget a lot of the details of like
Yes.
the shit. But I did not enjoy 2 and 3. I really didn't.
It's so hard.
Yeah, like I found them to be super hard years.
The terrible twos.
The terrible twos,
Yeah.
3-nager. You
Yeah.
know, I think 3 was probably the worst because
People say that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's just that trying to be independent and wanting to do this and Michael, believe it or not, very serious about what he wears.
Aw.
Even to this day. I mean, I let him pick out most of the time I let him pick out what he wants to wear,
That's
but
so funny.
I do remember at 3 he like would, push back, but I think like the biggest things I remember aside from the is like you're dealing with a drunk person who
Mhm.
like wants
makes
independence
no
and wants
sense.
to do things
They
and
make no
like I'm like
sense.
are
Yeah.
you're gonna hurt your you're
Yeah.
like you're gonna hurt yourself. This is why you're trying to rationalize
Yeah.
with a toddler
Right.
and there's no rationalizing
Right.
and you're getting frustrated, but you're like there's a kid at the end of the day and they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I think what always drove me the craziest was like, during that time was like a hitting phase too. Like I remember being out somewhere like, I don't know, Target or something like that and trying to like like get him to chill out or calm down or whatever. And he slapped me across the face, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna fuck this kid up!" Like, you're
Like, to like hold your composure.
Yeah, like, why did I do this? Why am I? No one tells you about that stuff in the beginning.
And it's so hard to discipline them because that like, do you even understand why what you did wrong and why I'm mad at you and like. And you don't want to give them too much attention because you don't want them to do it again. The bad behavior.
Yes.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, your daughter talk about dominance. What
Oh
are you
my
wearing?
God. I'm wearing my Ursula shirt because she wants me to be the sea witch. So she made me buy this shirt because she's going to be a mermaid for Halloween.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And at first she wanted me to be a mermaid. And I was like, I'm not going to be a mermaid with you. And she's like, okay, then you're going to be a sea witch. So I know. But the things we do for our kids, right?
Well,
like
you're like made me. She didn't like.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
just hold a gun to your head.
No. But secretly,
but kind of like because it could turn into a fight.
Totally. And I feel like so after having one and going through my second toddler phase, I'm learning to just roll with it and embrace it. And she has her opinions and she wants me to be a sea witch. So I'm rocking this shirt. And you know what? Because before I know it, she's going to be older and not want to hang out with me or match with me. I still get her to match clothes with me.
That's cute.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just roll with it. Because before I know it, it's going to be gone.
Right.
So like through this toddler phase, I try to blast the like silly Disney music or kids music. And so knowing it as is to hear it again, I'm like, let me just soak up the good while she's not having a tantrum. Let me soak it up and enjoy it.
I know. Yeah. It's like finding the moments in between the tantrums, right?
You're like, this is so special and so amazing.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, you're just like the
But
best.
I love you.
And then, I love you. Yeah. And then the next, they're just like,
Well, like Sour Patch Kids, right?
Yeah. Oh my
You
God.
know,
Sometimes
right?
they're sour. and
First they're sour, then they're sweet.
oh, it's so
Right.
true.
It's like I'm gonna drive you to this point where you think your head's gonna explode
Yeah.
off your body, and then be like, "But I love you,
I'll
mommy."
give you the biggest hug.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I feel like nobody loves you as much as your toddler loves you. Like you are their everything. Like they are just so enamored by you and so in love with you. I love that feeling. But I hate when they're melting down. But the feeling of the love that they give you is incredible.
Yeah.
It's a pretty special time.
Do you find, like, just out of curiosity, because you have girls that are toddlers now, and like, I don't know, when they're melting down, you know, in public, what do you, what are your tactics? I don't know, to share maybe with anybody else out there who's like,
so
it's probably
sometimes with June, it's hard. So she still nurses and she'll a lot of the time want that.
When you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at this point, like, I'm not going to just like, I mean, maybe I will whip it out. But it's like, all right, enough is enough. What a little trick I have done is I keep Dum Dum lollipops in the console of my car. So sometimes I'll give her those.
Oh, smart.
Like, oh, you want to go in the car and get a lollipop? Or if she's freaking out in the car, I'll give her one.
right.
But it's like double-edged sword because now every time we're in the car, she asks for a
Oh,
lollipop.
I know what you mean. Because then you set it up for, yeah. Yeah, for me, I'd let her scream. And I'm just at the point where if people are staring at me like, oh, well, sorry.
Yeah.
She'll calm down eventually. Like I try to like talk to myself as she's going through the tantrums. Like, all right, calm down. Like in a couple of minutes, it's going to subside. So I try to get myself to stay calm, let her scream. And then I think hopefully she'll come to and look at me like, whoa,
Right.
I was just screaming.
Come out of it.
Yeah. So I just try to stay really calm and composed and let her have her moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I find the quicker she goes through the tantrum, the better we can get to what she really wants and why she was screaming.
Right.
Yeah.
Which half the time is for no reason.
Yes.
Right? But
Yeah. I mean, the dum-dums, like you got to keep little tricks up your sleeve because we just got rid of the passy and talk about,
oh, you did?
yeah. And she was obsessed with that thing. Like she'd wake up in the morning, want it, throughout the day, want it, and she's whining. And I don't want to hear her whine. I just can't. Something about children whining.
Oh
is-
gosh, it's like nails on
Yes.
a chalkboard.
Especially when you're, you know, working mom or you have a call or I just need to think or I want to think about dinner. Like I don't want to hear you whine because I can't hear myself think.
Yeah, can't complete a thought.
Yes.
Right.
So I would just give her the passy to suffice her, but it was affecting her speech.
Mm.
She wasn't able to pronounce words a certain way. It was also affecting her palate. Like
Yes,
the
that happened
dentist.
to Dylan. Yeah.
The dentist was like, her teeth are
Yeah.
not, you know, coming in the right way. So one day I was like, I'm just going to have to do this. And it was terrible. And we told her the passy fairy came and we buried it in the yard. Yep. And the next day, lollipops were there.
We buried them.
We
in there.
buried the passies. Yep. And then the next day, Hunter was so cute. My 7-year-old went out and he put lollipop. It was a lollipop garden.
Oh, that's very cute.
Yeah. And she was so excited. She's like, the fairy gave me lollipops. And I was like,
Aw.
yes. And for the first couple of days, it's survival mode. We got through because I just kept offering a lot. Anytime she was whining and crying, here's a lollipop, here's a lollipop.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she got over. I think she's done with lollipops for a little while.
That's
She had so
good.
many.
Good.
But it was just truly survival mode to get this girl off the passy. And the first night she cried for 30 minutes. And I had to deal with it. I just remember sitting on my phone scrolling.
Yeah.
And
you're
just
like,
having a
"Whatever."
meltdown. I'm like,
Yeah.
And but it is so hard to like not react as a parent when
It's
you
so
hear your kid
hard.
crying, whether that's you're reacting is like, oh, let me give it, like whether you're caving or you're like, I'm gonna fucking lose
yeah,
my
like you want to
mind.
scream, like,
right.
stop crying.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it takes a lot.
Yeah.
Last night I was in the bathroom and June was like trying to go into Dylan's room as he was sleeping. And I'm like, no, like I yelled at her, and I don't often yell at
Right.
my 2-year-old, you know, and she started crying. She was so crying. She started hysterically crying. And Mike comes in and he's like, picks her up. Oh, mommy yelled at you. I'm like, how can I fucking yell you?
My husband does that too. Like after I've had like, all day with her, an hour with her where she's like not making any sense. And he comes in and he's like, don't yell at my baby. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She was just terrorizing me.
He's like, say sorry, mommy. I'm like, I'm not going to say something to that little terrorist.
We are verbally abused by our children, emotionally abused. But like at the end of the day, I try to think they're just two. They're learning how to deal with their emotions.
Yeah,
and,
right.
And maybe they are tired or hungry. I find a lot of times my daughter is making no sense and she is terrorizing me. She's hungry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With June, it's tight. When she doesn't nap, she is just
Not nice.
Forget it.
Right? Like,
Yeah. Yesterday, we went to the Halloween store around 5:00. She did not nap, but she had her
And at this point, you have to
costume.
power through because you're at the
Yes.
toddler
Yeah.
phase where it's like, well, if we don't nap by a certain time,
Right.
I'm going
Totally.
to have to put up with your crankiness all day.
Yeah,
Which is horrible.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
you did. Yeah.
Yeah, so we went, had to get Dylan his costume, and she was just terrible. And then terrible in the car, and he wanted to go to Target because we didn't get anything there, so he wanted to look at Target.
Mhm.
And I'm like, we can't, like, this will be bad if we go.
Yeah.
And so then he's upset
Oh,
because he's like,
no.
we always have to do with June, because she's
Yeah.
it's like it affects him because we really do have to cater to her because she's
Loud and annoying.
she's like a little time bomb, but it's hard because he doesn't fully grasp
Mhm.
that,
Yeah.
and I think it's like starting to affect
And
him
you have
in
guilt,
some
I'm sure,
ways.
about it because you're like,
Yes.
oh, but I should be going to the store for him.
Yeah, or if he wants to snuggle with me on the couch, she climbs up and wedges in between us always, and he'll cry. He's like, she never lets me snuggle
Oh,
with you.
Dylan.
I know, so that's hard too. And she'll be like, no, it's my mommy.
Oh.
Like, she's
Yeah,
fresh
very
little one.
possessive.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Like, you can come on this side.
I know, I try
Right.
that, and if he moves to the other side, she'll go.
Oh.
Ooh, what a little stinker.
I know, but she'll like also want to
Play
snuggle
me.
with him
Oh,
too.
that
yeah,
makes sense.
but-
yeah.
And I try to flip the script to that. Like, she just wants to be with you too.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's what I try to do with my son too, because he'll
Yeah.
notice things like that. And then I've tried to pawn him off on her, like, oh, she's really sad, so go read her a book. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Gotta
it works
get-
for a little bit.
Yeah, a
And then
little
they
bit.
fight. Yeah.
Totally.
But I think the hardest thing for me with a toddler is just getting ready and out the door. Like everything takes
Yes.
so much more time. Like I have to equate, like putting on shoes is even 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, because I do it. Or
Yeah.
I don't want to wear
Mhm.
those. And I
And-
got to run around the house and find the other shoes she wants.
Yeah, and they really just can't do anything. Well, not anything, but
Right.
the majority of the things to get ready, you have to do for them.
Yes.
Whereas with my 8-year-old, all right, fill up your water bottle, put it in your backpack, grab your lunchbox, put it in the backpack.
And they kind of understand, I feel like, the 8-year-old, we're on a time crunch.
yes,
Please
yeah.
don't mess around. Where the 2-year-old doesn't understand anything
No.
about time.
It's like,
They have all the time in the world. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you don't. We got to go.
I'm trying to hold her thing. She's like, no, I want to hold it. But when I put her backpack on, it tips her over. 'cause
Oh.
so it's just like,
Because she's like tiny little thing.
yeah.
But it's that the dominance. But it's my
Uh-huh.
backpack. I hold it. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Imagine like as an adult just laying on the ground and screaming. I mean, I
Do you know
want to
how
do
often
that
I want to do that?
Yes. all the time.
But
There's
it's
social experiment, right?
yeah. I wonder if we did that, if they would stare at us like we have 10 heads. Like, what is mommy doing? Like,
You know
It's a
what?
good
I
idea.
wonder if actually that might be a really good
Right.
tactic. Like
Yeah.
next time they're on the ground flailing around, you do it too. Get down there, probably be like,
Yeah, maybe they'll stop acting
Yeah.
like an asshole.
yeah, right.
I would like
Look
to
at
think,
this
Yeah.
asshole.
That's funny. I would like to think she would be like, mommy, get up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. I'm
I
like,
should, right?
Try later because I'm sure she'll have a meltdown at some point.
Yeah.
The good thing is when the days she's at school, she always naps. So at least
Oh.
I know there's that.
Yeah, the napping is so hard as a toddler. So right now my daughter is 2, she'll almost be 3. So she is kind of going through this thing where if she naps at school, where she will, then she won't go to bed till like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, I want to watch Housewives without you. Like,
Yes,
please go to bed.
Yeah.
What does June do at night?
It's really like a crapshoot, but I'd say it's anywhere between like 8:30 and 9:30.
And if she goes to bed at 8:30, don't you feel like you hit the lotto? You're
Oh
like,
my gosh, yeah.
You're
But
like, what do I even do with myself?
yeah.
yeah, and again, I need to stop nursing. I just don't even know how. She's so obsessed, but
It's hard.
and it's not like I can
Like
take
the
it
like
away
she's
because
the
it's attached
Patsy.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it got buried.
Put some dum-dums on your
Yeah, right. I was thinking of doing Band-Aids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I got a spray tan a few weeks ago, and they sorry, they put like pasties on
Yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah.
And so she calls when she wants to nurse, she calls it eco. I
She
don't know
still
why.
does?
She still does.
Wow.
And this girl talks full sentences, like 5-word sentences. You could have a conversation with this girl. Eco. It's eco.
Oh, you're like, okay.
So she's like, Mommy, I want eco. And I forgot I had the pasties on. And she starts laughing and she's like, where did my eco go? And
All confused.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was like, let me leave this on for a few hours and see. And then she tried again. My eco's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
So maybe that's the
Yeah,
the
so I'm
trick
like,
right
maybe
there.
Band-Aids would work. Like,
Yeah.
The pasty thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
eco's gone.
Yeah.
It's funny, these like silly things that we have to come up with, but we do. It's a game because they're 2, and things have to be somewhat of a weird explanation or
Yeah.
game.
And delicate, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Because even my 7-year-old's like, why do we have to lie to her and tell her that the Passy fairy came? And I'm like,
Mhm.
Hunter, we
Right.
have to go with it, because if I just say I took it away, then I'm the bad cop, and I don't want to be the bad cop. So we
Right.
have to say the fairy came and was the
We're
bad cop.
deflecting this to somebody
Yeah.
else
Yeah,
that doesn't exist.
And if you took it, that means you still have it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right.
But it's funny, like the things we have to tell our children,
I
like,
know.
yeah, and make a game out of it.
It's so true.
I never knew all the lies and acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was going to be required
Yeah.
to just make it through the day. Paul, like sometimes I think he looks at me like, wow, that was a good one you came up with. Like
the things on the fly,
yeah,
you'll say.
yeah, you have
Yes.
to lie.
Yeah.
I know, even at night, like I forgot what I said, but the other day I was just like, no, it's 8 o'clock and it's bedtime. And 8 o'clock is bedtime. Like, yes, all the lights are turning off at 8. We don't have no power. Like, but, like, they don't know any better. But yeah. And I wish she would go to bed by 8, and she doesn't. But it's just that it's just funny because some of this, at the end of the day, when you think back how your day was, or your interactions with them, you just can't help but laugh.
No,
I
or
know.
totally.
Yeah.
I know. It's really true.
Yeah. And I feel like, I try to tell myself, I will miss this.
It's just a season,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
It's a quick season.
Yeah.
It's a quick season.
Michael's 5. So do you
Right.
ever look back fondly at those moments when he was like 2?
like he was so cute,
Yeah.
at that time, and those little like chubby cheeks, and obviously the finding the personality, like seeing that
Yeah.
personality emerge, and his funny behavior. He also used to like run off a lot, like that would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
But I didn't love those years.
Yeah.
Like
It's hard.
it's really was very challenging.
Yeah.
So like once he started turning 4, now at 5, like this little dude, I'm like, I love
He's
it.
your bestie now.
He's my
right?
bestie. It's like
Yeah.
go, like you said, like go get your sneakers and shoes on, go get dressed, go do. It's so
Mhm.
nice that he's so self-sufficient.
Yeah.
now,
And he can
too.
hang with you without like needing a nap.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you can
Oh,
go
that
out
part
all
has
day.
been very nice.
Right?
Like
you-
making it through
Yeah.
the day. He actually
Ye-
goes to bed at like 8:30.
That's
Yeah.
No
awesome.
problem. It's
Yeah.
been really, because I experienced that same issue.
I remember, right?
when he was like 2 and 3 and 4, like napping at school.
And I
Not
know,
going to bed till 10. I'm like,
yeah. And you're a single mom. So I know for you, that was really hard to like,
Yeah.
he'd go to bed at 10, and then what would you just turn off and go to
pretty,
sleep?
I'm like, yeah, or stay up super late because you just need that like downtime to like
Decompress.
right.
Yeah.
Your brain dead, to be brain dead for a little while.
For
So,
sure.
yeah.
I feel like 5 is like the magic age.
Yes.
I mean,
Mhm.
of course, it still has its challenges, but
Oh,
I
for sure.
remember when Dylan turned 5, I was like, well, this is like, so
Yeah.
much
This is
easier.
like fun.
Yeah. It's wild.
Right.
5 was easier. Yeah. You don't need a diaper bag. You don't
Nope.
need to worry about
Yeah.
nap times. Like,
Yes. Oh, that I didn't even think about. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to like pack up a whole bag to just go
Snacks.
out to
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. And we just started potty training, and knock on wood, she's
You did.
yes. We tried it before and she kept having accidents, and I think it's school that's helping. So she goes to daycare, and in there the other kids are potty trained, and they said in school they do, before she was potty trained, they were introducing her to the potty. So then one weekend I was like, let's try this again. And thankfully she did have some accidents, but she's picked it up really
That's
good.
great.
But it's hard, right? The challenges of trying to potty train and
Yeah, I feel like if I try, she'll probably get it. I think she's ready.
Yeah.
She asks to go on the potty all the
good.
time.
So she's aware of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I'll put her on, but she won't actually go.
Yep.
But I think if I bite the bullet, she'll do it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of me not wanting.
You have to
Yeah.
mentally prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Because I had to mentally prepare myself for, okay, I'm going to have to clean up after her. We're going to have to have accents. I can't get upset because I told myself we're going to do this.
I carved out 3 days, like we did
Yes,
that, like the
yeah.
whole being in the
Yep.
house, no underwear on, put the potty in the middle of the
Yeah.
floor. And he,
and it took work.
I think sometimes we don't give our kids enough credit. Like he picked it up really quickly. I mean,
Right.
obviously there were accidents along the way, but
it took work.
I was like, wow, you took to
Yeah.
this much better than I thought you were going
Yeah.
to.
For
you
sure.
know?
Yeah. So I gotta bite that bullet, cover my couch in garbage bags. My couch is what I'm worried
Oh,
about.
I know. It's right. Because it's like, yeah,
You could
she,
just put plastic on it, like
Yeah.
the Italian grandma did.
Yeah, my grandma
Yes.
used to do that.
Yeah.
Totally.
I know that's hard, but it has its challenges, but obviously we love our kids.
Absolutely.
course.
Yes.
Sharing anecdotes that I think most of our listeners can relate to.
You know what I love too? I love when I see the toddlers interact.
Yes.
So
Like,
funny, right?
it's really cute to see Madeline with her little friends, and how she gets excited to see them again and how they interact and they have their friendships. It's cute.
Yeah. I'll ask June, what's you played with your friends at school? What's your friend's name? She goes, Haida. I'm like, Haida? Who's Haida? So I asked the teacher, I'm like, is there a little girl named Haida? They're like, no.
I
Like,
love it.
so-
Is she trying to say somebody's name you think that she doesn't?
I just have no idea. I'm like, is there anything close to that?
Yeah, like
No,
Ava, I
right.
wonder.
I don't
Yeah.
No.
Who
That's
is this?
That's so it's funny because I feel like I'm gonna miss her saying words wrong.
Oh, yeah.
When my nephew was born, his name is Luca, but she would say Kuka.
Oh.
And we thought it was funny, and we kept trying to correct her, say Luca, and finally she'll say Luca. And I'm like, damn it, but I miss you saying
Yes,
it wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because those little voices.
Yeah, she has always called Dylan Dee.
Dee
Mhm.
Dee.
And now she says Dylan
Oh,
sometimes.
so we
and
like-
I'm like, but it's
I
Dee
know.
Dee.
Yeah.
But we also call Mike's mom Dee Dee.
Mhm.
And
Oh.
my nieces call me Dee Dee.
Yeah.
So it's all
It's
very
confusing.
confusing.
It's a very Dee
Yeah.
Dee.
It's been a lot
Love-
of Dee Dees.
Yeah.
But it's very cute, but I will miss that once she stops.
Yeah, when they say things right.
Yeah.
When my son was a toddler, my mom wanted to be called abuela, and he couldn't say that. So he would say Abba. So the cool thing is it stuck. And it's funny how those little accidents, though,
Yeah.
that they do can
That-
stick and
yeah.
make something meaningful. 'Cause now
Yes.
she's Abba.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's I think why Mike's mom is Dee Dee, because Scott, Mike's oldest son, I don't know, he just called her Dee Dee. I think
Yeah.
that's how it came about. Her name's Dawn, so
Oh,
I think
and
that's,
like he was trying to say her.
yeah. So no one ever calls her grandma. She's
Oh,
just
Dee
Dee
Dee.
Dee.
What a cool name for a grandma.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
It's
awesome.
I
fun.
like when those natural,
Yeah,
grandparent names come along.
totally. Yeah,
Sweet.
it's fun. So I don't know. Anything else, guys? Any other crazy stories you got?
I've buried them. I've buried most of them very deep.
With the pacifier.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right. The
Exactly.
passing fairy.
But we want to hear any stories that
yes,
you guys have too. Like, feel
definitely.
free to comment, share your stories, the craziness of
Let us know
toddler
we're not
life.
alone.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
And obviously, like I said, it's really tough, but I just try to enjoy those little moments where she is sweet
Definitely.
and
Mhm.
soak that in. And the moments where she's not sweet, I'm just like, just
Yeah,
deep
deep breaths.
Yep.
I've even taught her that. She'll go through tantrums like, Madeline, breathe. And now she'll be like,
That's what I've been teaching Dylan, actually.
Yep.
oh,
It's
deep
a
breath,
good- It's a
right?
good one.
Meditate.
Yeah.
This,
Yes.
this
Mhm.
too shall pass.
Yes.
Exactly.
But until it passes, we're going to embrace and enjoy it.
Yep.
And thank you guys for listening about our toddler antics. Yeah.
Thank you.
Feel free to message us with any funny toddler stories you might have.
Yep.
And make sure to like and subscribe.
See you next week.
Bye.